have week 6, third eye chakra yoga. My name is Felicia Natrice. This is my lifestyle channel, and yoga is a huge part of my life, and I wanted to share that with you guys as well. If you don't know me, I am a human and civil rights advocate, and I run a nonprofit in women's health called Divas Can Manifest org. And yoga has been a huge part in my recovery from a mental health crisis that I experienced a couple of years back. And I feel that it can help a lot more people. So I have been on my yoga journey for 7 years, almost 8 years now, and it has been a huge factor in me growing my awareness. So today's third eye chakra flow is for insight, wisdom, and clarity, and awaken your third eye and see the truth. Raise your consciousness. So that is our intention for today. If you are more interested in my flexibility coaching and my other forms of movement, you can definitely become a Renaissance member. Renaissance is a whole nother story, but you can learn more about her, my alter ego, and our movement practice as a professional pole dancer, as well as the exotic dancer lifestyle in the long form section of this channel. But today we're definitely getting into our third eye chakra flow. If you have not caught up with all the rest of the weeks, I definitely would suggest you checking out the rest of the series. This is our free yoga sadhana sponsored by my nonprofit organization. And I just want to let you know that 1 hour a week, 1 30-minute sadhana a week is not enough to grow your flexibility. So if you're interested in getting flexible as fuck, then definitely check out a Renaissance member. That is where we get more into it, and I open up the gatekeeper to cross-train your aerial journey. Renaissance is especially how we heal the body from trauma, how we liberate our bodies from oppression and male dominion, and a whole lot more. So I definitely would suggest you guys check out the channel. But let's go ahead and get into our free yoga sadhana. Sadhana in its most basic form is ego surrendering. Asana came a lot later in yoga, and that is the physical addition to your practice. So this whole purpose is to get back into your body, and go ahead and sign up for the Divas Can Manifest newsletter, because we have our chakra alignment yoga journal and comprehensive health science guide to help you take control of your health even more and follow along on your yoga journey. It is a project that I've been working on for the past 6 years, and it's finally becoming available to the public at the start of Pride Month, hence the rainbow, on June 1st. So go ahead and you can head over to the community tab, but I'll also try to link something in the description box. I don't think the links work very well on the description box on the live here, but I will try to link everything down below so that you can get access to the Divas Can Manifest mailing list, and you will be notified when chakra alignment, the yoga journal, becomes available. But go ahead and meet me in a meditation pose, lotus pose, or you can just take an easy seat. Today I'm going to take an easy seat because I've actually had a very intense movement practice this week. I went to mat Pilates. I've been training, even more aerial cross training this week. So it's been a very, very intense on my body. So I am just going to come into an easy seat. We're going to get started with our healing mantra. Okay, you can bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes if it feels safe, but you can keep them open if you would like. And we're just going to, today I'm going to keep my eyes open, okay? So we're just going to take some deep inhales to start to draw attention to our breath. The breath in yoga is very intentional. It sends that vital life force energy throughout our chakras, throughout our whole entire body, and brings existence, brings awakening to those parts of our body that have been dormant. Okay, so by this point in our yoga sadhana, we have been working through our yoga series. We have been working up the chakras. So the third eye chakra and the crown chakra is where our flow really starts to come together. So you'll see a lot of crossover from the previous weeks. A lot of the Surya Namaskar that we have been building on, our sun salutations, and the more advanced asanas. So I hope that this first yoga series coming to a head around Pride Month will help you discover how to awaken and align your chakras. So let's go ahead and meet me in bring your hands to a prayer grip to your heart center. And we're just going to start with a couple of breaths, okay? Take a deep inhale. Through your nose. Exhale, open mouth. Inhale. We are here now. We don't care what happened yesterday. We don't care what happened before you got here. All of that can turn around with just a few moments of stillness. The past is behind you. It is not an indication of your future success. On your next inhale, give me an open mouth. Exhale, give me one big om. Deep inhale through your nose. Triambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarukami varbhadanam Mritor mushkiyamriyamritat Om Triambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarukami varbhadanam Mritor mushkiyamriyamritat Om Triambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarukami varbhadanam Mritor mushkiyamriyamritat Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Open your eyes and grab for your knees. Mantra is also a big part of my practice. Positive reverberations of self-love and intentions to heal are powerful as cellular detoxification. When you're ready, meet me in a child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch the back of your mat. If you're against the wall, make sure you bring your mat out a little bit. Make sure you have enough space to stretch on out. Bring your big toes to touch and bring your knees to the outermost edges of your mat. That is always a safe guideline. Bring your third eye chakra to the mat and reach your extremities, your hands directly in front of you. Connect your forehead to the mat. Draw your shoulder blades down and away from your ears. Take a deep inhale, breathe. Press your third eye chakra into the mat. Shake your head, no. Shake your head, yes. Draw your tailbone towards your heels and deepen. Inhale. Exhale, draw your tailbone even closer to your heels. A big part of a third eye chakra awakening flow is taking whatever movement feels good to you. Since the third eye is all about your intuition, go ahead and start with some intuitive movements, okay? We're going to go ahead, I forgot to put my knee pads on, but if you have knee pads, go ahead and grab them. So I'm going to just start with coming into a tabletop position. That is always my intuitive movement that I like to take, you know, from my child's pose. And let me make sure I'm in frame so I can show you guys. So just go ahead and stack your shoulders over your wrist. Stack your hips over your knees. And in whatever intuitive movement that you take, just make sure you keep alignment as much as you can. And that is just one basic principle in yoga, is always try to keep your alignment as you shift through your different asanas. So just go ahead and take whatever movement feels good to you, especially as we're warming up the body. I like to shift my hips around a lot because I do have an injury, a hip flexor injury called dancer's hip. That is the downside of being a dancer. You most always get injured in some type of way. So, especially at the beginning of my practice, of my movement journey, of my dancing journey, I was not taught correctly. So I'm very serious about my yoga practice. Okay, hold on one second, guys. You must protect those knees. Okay. So, especially, I don't know, I am always a like floor yogi kind of girl, but I have been forcing myself to stand into more standing positions. But let's go ahead and continue our intuitive movement. That is your first asana for your third eye chakra, is listening to what your body needs, is taking that moment of stillness to understand. Your body is what are you desiring? What are you craving? Body care. So do more body care, right? So I'm doing a lot of spinal rolls, kind of like a variation of a cat-cow, a barrel roll, just because I like to warm my spine up before doing anything. The spine and the brain are the part of the central nervous system, and they play a huge role in sending electrical and chemical signals to other aspects of our body. And it's super involved in our movement and our conscious decision making. So the thing about the third eye chakra is it reflects your level of consciousness, and your level of consciousness reflects in your decision making, okay? Your conscious reality is a culmination of your past thoughts and behaviors, which are a reflection of your past thoughts and behaviors and the role that they have, and what decision making played a role in that. So if you have a reality that you do not desire, think about the lack of consciousness that you had in a previous state and how it has contributed to an undesirable reality or a desirable reality, okay? So before we move into our Surya Namaskar, like I said, sometimes yoga sequencing and following along with an instructor can be a little too rigid for me, because sometimes my body needs a little bit more warming up than other people's bodies, especially healing my body from trauma, domestic violence, and neglect. So I always like to start with just like moving throughout my body. I'll start with my spine and my upper half, right? Lots of neck rolls and spinal movements. And then I'll move into my lower body, which involves my quads, my hamstrings, and my terrible feet. LOL, okay? So I'm just taking some lizard poses with some blocks to assist, taking some half splits as well. So go ahead and just warm up your hip area and your hamstrings before we move into our guided flow, okay? Shifting to the other leg if you were taking intuitive movements with me. So, before I do anything, let's wake up, right? Awaken and see through your third eye chakra. Breathe. All right. Move your blocks out of the way. Meet me back into a child's pose, and we're going to move into Surya Namaskar, okay? Bring your big head, your big head, yeah, bring your big ass head. Bring your big head to the mat, okay? Forehead to the mat. Reach out in front of you and just shake. This is the beginning of Twerkulator 101, okay? Shake it. Alternate your cheeks left to right, okay? But get comfortable in your child's pose. Maybe send your gaze to the right. Send your gaze to the left. And treat those two imposters just the same. Whew. I need that, okay? Tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, stack your knees over your hips, tuck your big toes under. When you're ready, bring your fingertips, spread your fingertips as far apart as you can, but try to create a straight line between your thumbs, as if you're making an L. Because a lot of people have taken L's, right? With this third eye awakening, everybody's taking L's, okay? Send your hips up and back. Leave me in a downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Ooh, yes. First down dog of the day. Pedal out your feet. See how much different it feels in your hamstrings. Meet me back in a tabletop position. Shift back into a downward facing dog. Draw your shoulder blades away from your hips. Send your gaze directly to the back wall. Press your torso and chest towards the back wall. Ground down into all four corners of your feet if you can. Draw your heels down to the mat. Spread those fingertips. Press. Bring up to your tippy toes. Draw your heels back down. Look forward. Inhale. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale. Mountain pose. Exhale. Baby back bend. Inhale. Mountain pose. Exhale. Forward fold. Pedal it out. Bring your fingertips to the ground. If you can place your palms to the ground, go ahead and do that. But if not, grab for your shins. Halfway lift. Grab for the top of your shins. Draw your shoulder blades down and away from your back, your neck. Send your gaze directly down. Inhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Plant those hands. Step back with your right foot. High plank. Inhale. Exhale. Low plank. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. One more. Inhale. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale. Baby back bend. Inhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale. Breathe. Now we're getting warmed up, honey. Pedal those feet. Shift your weight into the balls of your feet, kind of as if your heels are raising up a little bit. Let your head hang. Grab for each elbow. Switch out your grip. next exhale, plant your hands. Not your exhale. What was I trying to say? Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulder blades down and away from your neck. Down your back, draw them down. Breathe. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Inhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. Hold it. And when you're ready, meet me in a hero's pose. Bring your knees to the mat. Palms facing down to ground. Palms facing up to receive. As we get closer to our upper chakras, third eye chakra, crown chakra, I like to receive energy. Press those heels into the tops of your mat, into the tops of your heels. Feel the stretch in your toes. Oh, yes. Always in points, stretch them out. Flex, okay? Bring your hands to heart center. Let's set our intention. Our intention is to awaken to the unseen and hidden forces that are causing disturbances and see them for the truth. What is our intention? The truth. The light will shine upon the darkness. The light will prevail. That means a lot of people will take an L. Take a water break. Grab a sip of water. I know we're up early. Hi friends, how we doing? How we doing? Y'all up in here chilling? You ain't even said good morning. Good morning. How we doing? Take some water. That is pretty much how I start all of my practices. But I want to move you guys into some of my favorite third eye chakra flows, okay? Asanas. Okay, so when you're ready, just bring yourself onto the long edge of the mat. Bring yourself in just into a standing position. We're going to bring our feet about shoulder width distance apart, okay? Stand at attention, Samasti Tahi. We are setting our intention to awaken and heal our third eye chakra. Our third eye chakra is a big part of our instincts. It's a big part of how we perceive our conscious reality. A lot of different things can impair your consciousness, can impair your third eye chakra, like traumas, traumatic experiences related to epigenetics or transgenerational traumas. These could also be inherited behaviors, like I said, through transgenerational traumas. It could lead to a lot of how we respond to a perceived threat. It's about how we perceive our reality, whether it is safe versus unsafe, how we are conforming to conventions that may not be right for us, how we are altering our intuition and distorting and clouding our perceptions. A lot of emotions can also cloud our perceptions, okay? So we are here to resolve our instincts, okay? When you're ready, just shift out into a wide angle forward fold. Grab for not your ankles, but grab for right above your ankles. If some of you guys, you might even want to grab for the back wall if that feels comfortable, but it can be a little spicy within the hip flexors. It can be a little too spicy, okay? But if you're flexy enough, you can go ahead and even take a bend in your elbows, okay? But we're here, and I'm just going to shift from take some intuitive movements throughout the third eye chakra. Like I said, a big part of the third eye chakra flow is where we get to have a lot more fun with our yoga practice. Is where we get to take more of our intuitive movements. But always feel free, no matter if you are intending to heal your third eye chakra with yoga, or if you're doing anything, just any kind of movement, just always take what feels good, because what the yoga teacher might be saying is might not be best for you, okay? So come into a wide angle forward fold, grab for right above the ankles, but you can also grab for the back wall, right? Bend into those hip flexors. You'll feel it, right? Grab for the back wall. Grab for the back of the shins, okay? And then I want you guys to, we're gonna move into our cow face pose. This is one of my favorite poses for my hips. I mean, it is so, if I have no time to do anything, I will move into the cow face pose. So we're starting in a wide angle forward fold, but we're actually going to walk our hands towards the short edge of the mat and around. Shift, 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 twist those legs into a pretzel and take a seat. This is how it looks from the back position, but I'll also show you, if you're here already, just hold it, and I'll show you what it looks like from the front so you guys can see how it looks. So I'm going to take the opposite, right? We're going to repeat on both sides, but just give me a second. Walk your hands to the short edge of the mat and around. Flip those feet under. What am I doing on the, okay, I know what I need to do. Here we go. Start from the back edge of your mat so I can show you guys the front, okay? Here, this is how it looks. This is how you want try to stack your knees over each other, but if you can't, that's all right as well. Cow face pose, all right? And then you're going to take your hands and you're going to take your left hand and bring it about to chest level as if you're coming into a prayer grip, but you're going to twist your palm out to the opposite direction. And you're going to take the other hand and wrap it around. Twist up like a vine, and then twisting the other direction. You see how you'll feel that in your shoulder girdle? You'll feel that in the top of your neck and back. Cow face pose. Connect your hands to your third eye chakra and say, awaken. Breathe, okay? We're here, and when you're ready, walk yourself back twist out of that and walk yourself back into a wide angle forward fold, okay? This is how it looks from the back. Whichever side you didn't do before, switch into the next one. But in yoga, we like to start with the right side. But if you want to just sit here for a little bit, you can wide angle forward fold. Maybe you can take some star poses. Bend at the hips. Inhale, exhale. Sweep your arms up. Sweep your arm back down. If this angle is too wide for you, you can deepen your squat by shifting your feet in a little bit more. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, back down. Hands on your knees, hands on your knees, hands on your knees. Take some mobility practices here. Shift from right to left. Back into a wide angle forward fold. Stretch that stance out a little bit more and repeat on your opposite side. Okay? Take a seat. Cow pose. Cow face pose, excuse me. Switch those grips out. Twist up like a pretzel, like a vine. Connect your hands to your third eye chakra and say, awaken. Untwist yourself. Push up, back into your wide angle forward fold. Shift your feet into a shoulder width distance. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. That was one hell of a twist. So take a water break if you want. How we doing? How we feeling? Let's check for time again. All right. So I love starting my day with yoga, but you can also do it at night for helping you to go to bed, to release the stress. But I feel like starting my day with yoga grounds me and puts everything in perspective. Helps me prioritize better, helps me stay focused on what I need to do, helps me feel inspired, grounded, and safe enough to take actions, okay? Because on the mat, we're in our feminine energy. We're taking moments of stillness. But when we're driven and staying action-oriented towards our goals, we are in our masculine energy. Masculine energy takes courage, okay? So when you're ready, make sure you have enough space against you in the wall. We're going to move into our peak pose for our third eye chakra. Honestly, this is for all of the chakras, but you know, especially for the third, as we move to the upper levels, we start to align all of our chakras at once, okay? So when you're ready, inhale and exhale into a downward facing dog, okay? Inhale, exhale. See your hips up and back. And when you're ready, we're just going to step your left foot towards the furthest edge of your mat, and we're going to move into our wheel pose, Chakrasana. Come up on the tiptoes. And breathe. And when you're ready, catch yourself with your head and roll your spine down as best as you can. My butt is in the way, but you want to roll each vertebrae down for safety. Okay? How we feeling? All right. Come up on you. Meet me back. We like to do both sides, okay? And Chakrasana is very great for cross-training your aerial journey as well, because we do have to do a lot of bending on the pole. And even if you're not particularly in a bendy shape, you still need that spinal mobility, okay? Now we're gonna move into our opposite side because we like to keep it even, okay? How's your spine feeling? Go ahead and take some cat-cows to reset yourself. I like cat a lot after bending in the opposite direction, right? Take your intuitive movement to feel good. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and meet me again. Chakrasana. With my bad side. And when you're ready, roll each vertebrae down to the mat. How are we feeling about Chakrasana? You add one Chakrasana every day, you'll never get triggered again. LOL. Okay. Those are our peak poses, and I hope that you enjoyed this yoga sadhana. But just meet me, and let's lie down on your back. We're gonna take some happy babies to say, nurture our inner child. Grab for your feet and play with some bends here, some micro bends in your knees. Maybe bring one out, extend. Ooh. Bring the other one. If you're long, go ahead and try to take as much space as you can. Bring your knees to your chest and take a big grip. Squeeze. Roll your spine after all those shakrasanas. Roll them, flex those feet. Roll. Roll. Ooh, yes. Squeeze. And then let it all go. Shavasana. Make sure your shoulder blades are drawn down. Excuse me. Are drawn down. And just close your eyes. And breathe. Seal your lips. And return your breath to normal. Breathing is a part of your unconscious decision making. When we draw attention to our breath, it immediately enhances the quality of it. Ignore whatever's going on outside. Ignore whatever's going on around you and breathe. Flip your palms up to receive. Take a deep inhale. Now your next exhale, move into a fetal position on your right or left side. Today I'm going to take my left side just because that's my side that I use the least. Use your arm as a pillow. And remember when you were just a fetus. And when you're ready, push up and meet me in an easy seat. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so grateful. The love and the light in me honors the love and the light in you. Bring your prayer grip to your third eye to invite loving thoughts. Bring your prayer grip to your mouth to invite loving words. And bring your prayer grip back to your heart to activate and invite universal love. To remind you through your third eye chakra to run every piece of information lovingly through the center of your truth, your heart center. Thank you guys so much. Namaste. I will see you guys next week for crown chakra, and that will be the end of our first series. I love you. Catch your replay, and I'll see you later. Bye.